Now at 9, a new manufacturing facility is coming to Miami, Oklahoma, and it's bringing new jobs. Plus, we'll hear from a Joplin school official about yesterday's school bus fire and how a local church is helping refugees and immigrants settle in the area.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. A new manufacturing facility and jobs are coming to Miami, Oklahoma. The announcement came at a ribbon cutting this afternoon. KOAM's Anthony Saviolo was there.
The city of Miami, Oklahoma has another big addition to its small town.
Today's event is just a huge deal for us to have these guys pick us out of all the locations they could have chose. They chose Miami, Oklahoma. And so we've really knew that being a small pond, we had to take on this big fish and say, how do we be what they need us to be? And that is to be there for them, to make this easy.
Valencia Pipe Company is the newest addition to Miami's growing economy. CEO Andrew Dervin says that the choice to set up shop in Miami was an easy one.
Turned out to be a great location for us. It hit a number of different points that we were looking for, namely the Oklahoma area, Texas area, and then also having a larger reach into the Midwest, all the way up into Wisconsin and such.
According to City Manager Bo Reese, the addition of this company is another way to attract even more companies and businesses to the Miami area.
I think our future is great, honestly, because we've already seen significant growth. We've got businesses that are contacting us just weekly that are wanting to come here. They want to be here. They see the growth that's happening.
And for Dervin, it's all about investing back into the community.
Immediately, once we come into a community, we like to participate within the community. We like to support the local Little League baseball teams. We like to support the different boys and girls clubs. That's what we have traditionally done in any community that we've come into. In 5 years, hopefully we're a well-established business within the community and we're continuing to grow.
One thing that everyone involved in this project can agree on is that this facility is another step towards the growth of Miami, Oklahoma. Reporting in Miami, Anthony Saviolo, KOAM News.
CEO Dervin says the plant will provide 25 new jobs with room for growth and expansion. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with a first look at weather.
Yeah, and it turned out to be another great day for us today. So 2 days in a row after the rain that we saw over the weekend, which we needed. But look at our high, 64, well above our average high, 48 degrees. Cold start, 28 during the morning hours. Anderson's at 47, Neosho 48, Carthage 47, Miami is sitting at 48, 43 in Parsons. We're not going to drop off too much more. We have clouds which have increased. Our southerly winds will slowly pick up throughout the overnight hours for us tonight. This is our next storm system, which is developing out to the west, which a couple chunks of waves are going to head toward us over the next couple days. Through the night, hanging in the lower 40s, overnight low down to about 43 degrees, but mild and windy days ahead. In fact, we could have gusts near 40 miles per hour. We're going to be talking more about that here in a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, new details released concerning yesterday's Joplin school bus fire with children on board. The driver and all of the children made it off safely. While the cause of the fire is still under investigation, we did learn more about its inspection history. Now, this is video from the scene yesterday on South Range Line, just off of I-44. Investigators say the fire started in the engine compartment around 3 p.m. and we spoke with the Joplin School's Assistant Superintendent of Operations, Matt Harding. He says the bus driver recognized the seriousness of the situation, radioed it in, and got the children quickly off the bus. Harding says this bus model is one of the older ones the district owns.
This is an older bus that this happened to, and so right now they're in the process of kind of looking to see what happened with this one, but they immediately went and checked all the other buses that have a similar engine style to see if, either they can find out what the issue is and contact the manufacturer and find out if they have any ideas what the issue may have been.
Harding says every bus is inspected twice a year. This one was last checked in December. He also says Joplin has a 20-year record of scoring 90% or higher on the Missouri Highway Patrol testing, and those inspections include the entire fleet every spring. A Joplin church today hosted a fundraiser to support local refugees and immigrants. First Presbyterian Church of Joplin hosted a luncheon for $8 a plate. All of the proceeds from the event go to the organization Raise. Now, they help provide refugees and immigrants with resources and education to help them in their transition to a new home.
And it's not as burdensome on our sponsoring families, and then we can do more, and it's not a barrier. Finances are not then a barrier for people to want to come alongside.
The First Presbyterian Church hosts charity luncheons every month. Freeman Health today revealed the theme for the 2024 5K and Walk for Autism. For the 5th straight year, these combined events raise funds to support program development and scholarship assistance for the Bill and Virginia Leffin Center for Autism. The first place winner will be able to choose next year's theme. This year's theme, Walk, Run, and Roar, featuring dinosaurs.
It isn't about the entering the 5K. We have fundraising teams. So families can sign up to have a team, and then the one that raises the most money then gets the prizes. And we have the 3 different prizes packages.
The event will take place at 8 a.m. on Saturday, April 20th in front of the Leffin Center in Joplin. Well, how long could you put up with someone in the spirit of Valentine's Day? Coming up, a Fort Scott, Kansas couple shares how they manage 70 years of marriage. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has their love story.
Oh, that's kind of a loaded question, isn't it?
Donald and Beverly Malone were married in 1954. The high school sweetheart's love evolved into 3 sons, multiple grandkids, and a cozy home in Fort Scott, Kansas. The Malones attribute their 70 years together to just being there for each other.
Usually like the same things all the time. But anybody that tells you that their marriage is just fun and games all the time, that's not right. You have to work at it.
She's been the backbone, you might say, because she has helped me through things, and
I think it's a mutual thing.
It is.
A friend to build a life with or just rake some leaves. The Malones say working on your marriage is vital for longevity, but staying active together is just as important.
We've got into flower gardening a lot. We do a lot of flower gardening and yard work.
And we don't keep up too much on the technology. We have to wait till the grandkids come in to do something for us.
Reaching 70 years together is a milestone for Beverly.
I was hoping that we would get to 70 because my grandparents, one set of grandparents had 60 years and the other grandparents had 70 years. So I was sure hoping that we would get to 70.
And here's to many more. Reporting in Fort Scott, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Although their anniversary is in January, Donald and Beverly Malone plan on celebrating their 70th wedding anniversary in April when the weather is nicer. I don't blame them. Well, coming up, we'll have some tips to keep your heart in tip-top shape. Besides being Cupid's favorite time of year, February also marks American Heart Month. Fox News' Krista Mayo takes a closer look at the strategies you can embrace to show some love to your ticker and make sure it's running in tip-top shape.
February marks American Heart Month, a time to focus on improving cardiovascular health and raise awareness about cardiac arrest and heart attacks. According to the CDC, heart disease is the leading cause of death for men and women in the U.S., and someone has a heart attack every 40 seconds. Besides not smoking, the CDC recommends eating a healthy diet low in salt and trans and saturated fats. Proper physical activity can also help you maintain good levels of blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol, which can prevent heart disease.
The general recommendations from the CDC are to aim for obtaining 150 to 300 minutes of physical activity at a moderate intensity per week.
But when it comes to exercising, is it better to walk or run? Cassandra Ledman of Purdue University says both offer health benefits.
Decrease stress, significantly reduce anxiety, depression.
But what's important is that people do them consistently.
What's been proven is that all-cause mortality and numerous other disease risks will be substantially reduced if an individual is consistently participating in an exercise over time.
In the end, Ledman says,
the efficiency of running cannot be ignored. Say a 175-pound individual that went and ran at about 6 miles per hour for 30 minutes would expend about 420 calories. But if they were to walk for 30 minutes at about 3.5 miles per hour, they would expend about 140 to 150 calories.
Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
Well, new research finds weight loss surgery in obese patients is more effective for long-term blood pressure control than blood pressure medications alone. Results of a study done in Brazil show participants who underwent the procedure had lower body mass indexes and were on fewer medications after 5 years compared to those who used only medication. Well, the CDC has released the latest ads from its Tips from Former Smokers campaign. Many of this year's ads highlight the harms of menthol cigarettes. The health agency estimates this ongoing campaign has helped more than 1 million U.S. adults quit smoking. Well, Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, Colgan and Riverton hit the hardwood in a battle that could have a big impact on CNC standings.
Well, of course, it turned out to be a nice one for us today. Most of February started off pretty well. We did get the rain over the weekend, which we need the rain, and we are a little bit cooler, but we were still above our average highs for this time of the year. You can see our stretch so far this month, 6 days, all above average, which we will take. Here's a nice shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam. We're downtown. We're at Joplin and about 7th Street, looking northeast. Light little breeze out there, but overall it looks pretty good. Temperatures right now, most of us across the board, low to mid 40s to near 50 in Neosho and Anderson. Bentonville sitting at 52 degrees. Let's go outside. Here's 7th. Here's range on camera. Just dropped 47 easterly winds at about 5 miles per hour. All right, so not as cool tonight. Last night we dropped to 28. We're not going to do that tonight for 2 reasons. One, we have clouds. Kind of insulates whatever heat you do have in. 2, we have that southerly wind, which is going to start to increase. But these clouds are due to our next storm system out to the west. So this system, it's a big upper level low. It's caused California a lot of issues. It's going to shoot a couple chunks of energy at us as we go through the next few days. In fact, let's go through time. Watch our first low, tracks out northern parts of the plains. We get a few showers. The main story is going to be the wind. This system rides by. Here comes the second wave, meandering slowly toward us. Should make it here on Super Bowl Sunday. That could give us some rain, maybe even a little bit of a mix of rain and snow. So that's something we also want to keep our eyes on. All right, first off, the winds. Look at our southerly winds tomorrow, gusts near 20, maybe 25. But they get moving tomorrow night, gusts 40, upwards to 45, and kind of stay in that range all day long on Thursday. So here's your wind forecast. Gusts are high enough that your trash can is going to be in your neighbor's yard, so you may want to secure it as we go through the next couple days. Let's go into the second system. Here's Saturday, fine. Rain increases Super Bowl Sunday, and by Sunday evening, if we can pull in enough cold air, could mix with a little bit of snow. That's still several days away. All right, until then, we look okay. A lot of clouds tonight. Lower 40s to start. Once we get into the noon hour, near 60. By afternoon, mid 60s for highs, so it looks pretty good. Tomorrow night, clouds thicken. We could get a random shower or 2 in here late tomorrow night into Thursday morning. Most of you will stay dry, and then Thursday afternoon looks great. High temps mid to upper 60s. Day planner for you Wednesday, 57 by noon. High temp 65 degrees, 67 on Thursday. On Friday, 64, and then we cool down a bit as we head into the weekend. Those showers on Super Bowl Sunday, but all in all, looks pretty good over the next 10 days.
Yeah, I mean, you can't beat the next couple of days in
Nope.
60s.
I know, not
Loving
bad.
it. All right, thanks, Doug.
Yep.
Well, coming up, looking for what went wrong.
It's been 1 month since a commercial airlines jet ripped open mid-flight. I'm Mark Meredith in Washington. We'll have the latest on a new NTSB report which shows what may have gone wrong.
Blowout of a door panel on a Boeing 737 MAX 9 jet. The new chief of the FAA sought to reassure lawmakers on Capitol Hill that Boeing will be held accountable. His testimony happening just hours before the NTSB released a preliminary report on their probe into the incident. Fox News correspondent Mark Meredith has the story.
The need to be vigilant on safety came clearly into focus on January 5th.
The FAA says what happened on Alaska Airlines Flight 1282 a month ago has sent shockwaves through the aviation industry. A section of a Boeing 737 MAX 9 ripped open moments after takeoff. An NTSB preliminary report finding multiple bolts were missing from a door panel inside the plane's midsection.
We've begun an audit of Boeing's production and quality control practices, and we've informed Boeing that the FAA will not grant any production expansion of the MAX until we're satisfied the quality control issues uncovered during this process are resolved.
While no one was seriously hurt in January's incident, the mishap prompted the temporary grounding of MAX 9s. The planes all undergoing weeks of inspections with door plugs being scrutinized to ensure they were no longer loose. MAX 9s have since resumed flying, and the head of the FAA says he would fly on the plane if he had to.
Yes, I think that was a very thorough inspection process, and the mechanical fix to that defect, we have a high level of confidence that takes care of the problem.
And so you'd fly on the 737-9 MAX?
Yes, I would.
But the NTSB says there is still an ongoing investigation into the incident and that it plans to conduct more reviews with Boeing employees to ensure similar accidents are prevented. The preliminary report did not say who may have removed the bolts on the Alaska Airlines plane at the center of this probe, and a final report is expected to take several more months. In Washington, Mark Meredith, Fox News.
A new report shows U.S. household debt continues to climb. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York says a big part of that is credit card debt, which hit another new record. Americans now collectively owe $1.13 trillion. That's a 46% increase from the beginning of 2021. Up next, a Southwest Missouri teen's wish is granted by the Make-A-Wish. A Springfield teen's wish will soon come true thanks to the Make-A-Wish program. Now, Preston Hardiman, who recently underwent an unexpected heart transplant, was surprised after school today to see staff and volunteers setting up his one true wish, a Titan Fitness home gym. Awesome. For Preston, the gym is a symbol of perseverance.
The time I had away from my family and my friends and stuff, like, it was taken away from me from my heart stuff, and just to have this is gonna be, I don't know, I feel like I can bring some of that back.
Make-A-Wish Missouri and Kansas teamed up to make Preston's wish come true. All right. Well, 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports is coming your way. We hear from a Joplin family headed to the Super Bowl. Up next, how students in Carl Junction are getting into the Super Bowl spirit. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. A Joplin family is ready to board to the Super Bowl. Ryan Springer, his dad, and son are packing to Vegas, where they will watch in person the Chiefs play against the 49ers this weekend. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has more on how they're preparing for the trip.
It was like the fourth quarter and we were ahead and there was like a minute to go and I'm just sitting there on the couch and I can hear my grandpa go, "Well, what are the tickets looking like?"
Just after the end of the AFC Championship game, Samuel Springer saw his dad, Ryan, and his granddad, Ron, setting everything up for a once-in-a-lifetime trip.
It was kind of quick, actually. We had the thing booked in about 2.5 hours.
I was in shock for a little bit after me seeing how much the tickets were going. I was in shock. We went for it.
With each ticket being bought for about $9,000, Sam was not the only one who was shocked.
Downstairs is your wife.
Uh-huh.
How does she feel about you spending all the money with the Chiefs?
Yeah, well, she looks at like, what am I getting? so it's kind of a double expense for me because I usually, find something that she likes or something she wants to go do.
Ryan says the money to go to the Super Bowl comes from years of savings.
It's costing my dad an arm and a leg, and it's costing me an arm. Kind of money that we've had saved that we're going to invest in the Super Bowl.
A week after celebrating his 15th birthday, Sam knows the memories created on his second Super Bowl will be cherished for a long time.
Like, at the age I am, it's hard to, put, different life experience compared to this. But I feel like in the future, this is definitely coming up.
In Joplin, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
Well, Chiefs fans had to wait 50 years between their first two Super Bowl wins, but young Samuel Springer is lucky. He will see the team play their fourth Super Bowl in 5 years, and for the second time in person. Lucky duck. All right, well, several schools across the 4 states are celebrating the Chiefs, heading to another Super Bowl with a Spirit Week. Today, students in Carl Junction dressed up as Kansas City's hottest couple, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
I think their costumes are amazing. They all participated.
I'm like, wow, because I've been a huge Chiefs fan my whole life. My dad was, my mom is. It's just, wow, how many people, just for the school also, and just how many people care, and it's just amazing.
Tomorrow, Carl Junction students will take part in Winning Wednesday. Well, another court case involving former President Donald Trump is likely to end up with the Supreme Court. His legal team is appealing a ruling that states Trump does not have presidential immunity in his election interference case. Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor reports.
It's a major legal blow for Donald Trump. A federal appeals court ruled he does not have presidential immunity over his alleged attempts to overturn the 2020 election. The court rejecting Trump's argument that his actions while president could never be prosecuted.
What former President Trump was advancing was a sweeping and unprecedented claim of immunity. And it's not surprising that this panel rejected it.
In its decision, the court calls the former president a current citizen, writing any executive immunity that may have protected him while he served as president no longer protects him against this. Trump's campaign is already firing back, sharing in a statement, without complete immunity, a president would not be able to properly function.
Extreme Democrats will stop at nothing in attempt to prevent President Donald Trump from returning to the White House.
Trump's alleged involvement in events on January 6th has already gotten him thrown off the ballots in Colorado and Maine. The Supreme Court will hear arguments on this Thursday, while the former president's GOP colleagues are pushing a resolution that states Trump did not engage in insurrection.
The protesters who were present in the Capitol building did so of their own volition. They were not encouraged and they were not led by the president to take any such actions other than to peacefully protest.
Trump's team plans to appeal this latest ruling, holding up the former president's trial from starting in D.C. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Buckingham Palace announced King Charles III has been diagnosed with cancer. He will step back from public-facing duties while undergoing treatment. A royal source says it is not prostate cancer, but did not elaborate further on the diagnoses. The news comes after the 75-year-old monarch underwent a procedure for an enlarged prostate last month. Country singer Toby Keith has died at the age of 62 after a battle with stomach cancer. According to a statement on his website, Keith passed peacefully last night, surrounded by family. He was diagnosed with cancer in 2022, but still performed at the People's Choice Country Awards last year, where he received the Country Icon Award. Well, a bit later, making sure the big game goes off without a hitch.
Football's biggest night is right around the corner. I'm Kevin Corp with a look at how security in Sin City is beefing up ahead of Super Bowl 58. That is coming right up.
Well, of course, another great day for us today. Temperatures pretty good, mid-60s for highs. We did have a lot of clouds, a little breezy out there. It wasn't bad. The winds are going to really pick up over the next couple days. But check out our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam, of course. We're looking at 7th and Joplin, northeast, right through downtown. All right, currently outside, temperature is not bad. Most of us low to mid 40s, even a few upper 40s. Most of us are going to hang out into lower 40s for overnight lows. Let's go outside. Here's 7th and Rangeline, 47 east. Southeasterly winds are light. Visibility is good. And our humidity is not bad. We do have a lot of clouds kind of skirting through. Those clouds will keep our temperature up a little bit tonight. Plus, we'll have a little bit of a southerly wind, so it's not going to be near as cold. Out to the west, we have a weak little wave out across the Rockies and then a much stronger storm system behind it. So this is kind of two chunks of energy that is going to head toward us as we go through the next several days. Here's the first one. Area of low pressure cranks out across the northern parts of the plains. Maybe a couple showers Thursday morning. Not a huge deal. The bigger story is going to be the winds. The second wave behind it, it finally kicks out as we go into the weekend. So Saturday mainly looks okay, but this system takes a southerly track, gives us a little better chance for some rain, maybe a little bit of snow. All right, with the first wave, we get the wind. Look at our wind gusts tomorrow, 20, upwards of 25, but increase throughout the overnight hours tomorrow night. We're gonna have gusts 40 to 45. As we get into Thursday, still we're gonna have winds gusting near 40 miles per hour. So if we look at our wind forecast, we put it down to very simple terms. Where's your trash can going to end up? Most likely neighbor's yard if you don't put it in the garage, which I need to do as well tomorrow. All right, let's go into the weekend. Saturday is going to be dry. Rain increases. This is Super Bowl Sunday, and we'll have to see how far south this system tracks because we're kind of on the northern edge. If we can get a little bit of cold air into it, it could be a little rain-snow mix. If we don't, it'll just be showers. Until then, we look okay. Let's go lower 40s for lows tonight. We get near 60 by noon once we get into the afternoon hours. Most of us 65, 66 degrees, so it looks pretty good. Clouds thicken tomorrow night. That first wave, there could be a few random little isolated showers. Most of you will stay dry, then we'll clear out, and temperatures right back into the mid to upper 60s on Thursday afternoon. 57 by noon, high temp. Let's go 65. Let's go 67 on Thursday, 64 on Friday. Looking pretty good. A little bit cooler for the weekend. We'll track that, or at least watch that system tracking in on Sunday with a chance for a few showers Super Bowl Sunday.
No, we're going to be inside watching the game anyway, so
that's right.
Not a big deal.
Nope.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, coming up in sports, Pitt State announces it has a leader for its men's golf program. Plus, highlights from tonight's basketball doubleheader between Colgan and Riverton. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
We are coming down the stretch of the high school basketball season in Kansas. Tonight, Colgan hosts Riverton in a couple important CNC games. The Panthers boys team trying to stay the #1 rank in Class 2A, and the girls are hoping to remain undefeated. Riverton girls basketball on the road trying to hand Colgan its first loss of the season, and that's a tall task. Early in the first, off the inbounds, Molly Swayze looks like she's passing this to no one, but Lily Brown, swoops in, converts the layup. Riverton hanging tough though. Chloe Parker left open from 3. She drains it. Rams down by 3. Still first half. Palona Kalin finds Mariah Harris underneath the basket for an easy 2. Final seconds of the first half, 3-pointer won't go, but guess who? Lily Brown gets the rebound, scores at the buzzer. Colgan takes a 17-point lead in the locker rooms. More of the same in the second half. Shakayla Davis gets the steal, goes coast to coast. A little later on, Davis again. The spin move clears the path to the basket. Colgan remains undefeated. The Lady Panthers win 52-26. Now to the boys game. Colgan beat Riverton on the road in December. Rams trying to get their revenge. They've won 8 in a row. Panther big man Tristan Voss took control in the first quarter. Off the miss 3, ball tapped around, he gets the easy 2. A couple possessions later, Dump it inside to him. Voss uses the post moves to score again. How about a third time? Doesn't matter who Riverton puts on him. Voss scores again. Panthers up by 3. Riverton came to play tonight though. Second quarter, down by 3. Cale Forbes connects on a triple. That ties the game up. Rams trail by 2 at halftime, but in the third quarter, Locke North gets the bucket and the foul. Riverton takes a 3-point lead. Colgan gets knocked down, gets right back up. That's the freshman Brady Bettiga confidently shooting the 3 and drilling it. Panthers beat the Rams again. Final score 53-44. And Missouri Southern women's basketball finally is ranked inside the top 25. In the coaches poll released this afternoon, Lions are the number 24 team in the country. This comes as Southern is in the midst of a 14-game winning streak. Their last loss came on December 2nd. And Missouri Southern is the only team from the MIAA to be ranked in the top 25 this week. Fort Hays State was number 15 the week before, but fell out of the top 25 this week. Here are the current top 5 in the conference standings. No games across the league tonight. The Lions have a 1-game lead on the rest of the MIAA. Missouri Western, closest one behind them. Coincidentally, that's the last team to beat Missouri Southern. And Pittsburgh State announces last week that its men's golf program will return for the 2024-25 academic year. This afternoon, PSU Athletic Director Jim Johnson says they've found their next head coach, Nick Long. Long played golf for the Gorillas from 2000 to 2003, serving as a team captain for the final 2 years. In a press release, the new head coach of the Gorillas wants his program to live up to the standard of success that Pittsburgh State is accustomed to, saying, quote, "We will compete at the highest levels while being good students and role models for younger generations." And
Las Vegas is lighting up with excitement ahead of Super Bowl 58, but as teams and sports fans flood Sin City, law enforcement are on high alert, beefing up security and their efforts to combat criminals selling fake merch. Fox News correspondent Kevin Cork takes a closer look at all the action.
The countdown to football's biggest night is on, and dazzling Sin City is only getting livelier, especially now that the Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers have touched down ahead of Super Bowl 58.
Las Vegas just has an energy to it, an atmosphere.
But as the teams prepare for the big game, so are the law enforcement agents and bomb-sniffing dogs responsible for keeping tens of thousands of sports fans safe.
Although the Super Bowl presents its own unique challenges, the teams here are very used to hosting these large national security type events to make sure we're keeping the public safe.
Security in and around Allegiant Stadium is tightening.
CBP is deploying Black Hawk and A-Star helicopters to protect Allegiant Stadium airspace. Our team of aviators will provide real-time, high-definition downlinks to the Super Bowl Command Center. The team is able to detect and intercept any suspicious aircraft attempting to enter the restricted zone.
And officials are also on high alert for those trying to sell illegal counterfeit merchandise, from fake Lombardi trophies to jerseys, rings, and more. Teams snatched roughly $1 million in fake goods last weekend alone.
The goods are illegally imported and smuggled in the United States and often pose a health and safety danger to the consumer.
Agents are also trying to crack down on forced labor, and they warn that spending money on counterfeit products can actually help fund criminal groups responsible for human trafficking. I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
Well, coming up, we'll see how Hollywood is gearing up for the Super Bowl. Hollywood starts rolling out the Super Bowl teasers, and a hit show brings a behind-the-scenes look at its final season. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin has this and more in today's Hollywood Nation.
A celebration of genre, Cobra Kai back in the dojo, and stars gear up for game day in the Hollywood Nation.
Hey there, I'm Ryan Reynolds, star of the upcoming film if.
In today's First Looks is friendship and football. Ryan Reynolds and John Krasinski, actually Randall Park as John Krasinski, star in a teaser for the If Super Bowl spot. It's a take on a bit from The Office. They share clips of the upcoming comedy, which is about a girl who can see everyone's imaginary friends. We'll see more Super Bowl Sunday. If is in theaters May 17th.
This is dinner and a show. And the show is more dinner.
Netflix released a first look of Somebody Feed Phil with food enthusiast Phil Rosenthal globe-trotting his way through season 7. All 8 episodes premiere March 1st.
Season 6!
Take one. The streamer is also getting fans pumped for the 6th and final season of Cobra Kai, which airs this year. Stars of the Karate Kid spinoff sent a message with behind-the-scenes looks, sharing they're back in production and promising this season is the biggest, baddest yet. The 51st Annual Saturn Awards Sunday, hosted by Joel McHale, celebrated the best in genre entertainment. The show was dedicated to the memory of Lance Reddick, the late star of the John Wick movies. Among awards, Keanu Reeves received the first Lance Reddick Legacy Award. Oppenheimer director Christopher Nolan was presented the Visionary Award, and Jodie Foster received the Life Career Award. Winning films included Avatar: The Way of Water, which won 4, including Best Science Fiction Film.
I see you.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of penguins at the Milwaukee County Zoo. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.